welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to New Jack Swing podcast. And as we review the Mo Money soundtrack and a Jam and Lewis masterclass, as some might say. But before we get into it, it's always good to go around the room and introduce the panel. VJ, how's it going?
Good. I had an interesting week. I think it was Wednesday. There was a Tribe Called Quest event. It was a screening of Beats, Rhymes, and Life in the life of Tribe or something like that. It was the 2011 documentary that was done by Michael Rappaport.
Okay.
And then there were questions for a Q&A with the founding member, Jerobi White. So 1/4 of a Tribe Called Quest were there, and we got to ask him some questions, and ended up being a really nice event. And other news this week, me and you did an interview with Rex and Effect, part 2 of what we had done previously. So that was interesting. So yeah, it's been a good week on the music front. Tribe Called Quest and Rex and Effect. Can't complain.
Yeah, as you guys come in, Dwayne, welcome. Bill, okay, is it Joe? But anyway, hello to you as well. Stevie Street, how are you doing?
Good evening, all. Good evening. I'm good actually. I've had an incredible weekend. Record store day weekend, or RSD as they call it. My experience of it, if any of you out there try to get some of these exclusives, these vinyl exclusives that come out once a year, it started off disastrously for me. I got in one of those queues that was hundreds of people long, and I was in it for hours and hours. I won't tell you everything because I've got a video dropping on my channel tomorrow. It's a long one. It's about an hour's long. Wow. I've got interviews with a guy called Rob from a label called Be With Records that reissues a lot of funk, hip hop, soul. They reissued a 90s album by a group called Sleepy's Theme that was produced by Organised Noise. He put out a double vinyl of it, so I've got a good interview with him. I've got an interview with a guy who runs one of the main independent record stores in the Northwest, Wax and Beans. I've got a good interview with him. You'll see a lot of footage tomorrow. That's all I'm going to say. But it went from disaster to delight. So I'm very, very happy with what I picked up anyway. But yeah, I had a fantastic weekend. Thank you.
Okay. Look forward to seeing that. Benzins, of course, is telling us that he's taking the day off on Wednesday morning at the IMAX to watch the new Michael film. So it comes out in the UK on Wednesday the 22nd. So Benzins has bought a couple of tickets to watch that. In fact, one of my colleagues at work was trying to get tickets at the IMAX, but they said it's sold out. I wonder who might have bought all those tickets.
Wow.
Jiz, welcome. Andrew, looks as though... Oh, is that a white hat or your hair's disappeared?
Oh, it's a white hat.
Okay. Listen. Yeah. Okay, how you been?
I'm feeling good. There's just so much going on. I'll just try to pick and choose the most relevant items. I'll lead with, one of the benefits to my choice to move to, what some people might call the entertainment capital of the world is taking place between the 17th and the 26th. And that, of course, is the Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis residency happening at the Venetian. I'll be there on the 25th, so that'll be the second last show of the run.
Why are you cutting it so short? Close.
Honestly, because I was out of town last week. I was helping my fiance friend celebrate their 50th birthday in Hawaii, of all places. Now, we'll tell you, while that sounds fun, you guys don't understand. Like, I might not seem shy, I might seem outgoing, but anybody who closely knows me will tell you, no doubt, I am the most introverted person on planet Earth. You're not going to believe it. You're going to think I'm a fraud. But really just interacting with people all the time is like death for me. But anyway, keeping it positive. So that's happening on Saturday. So I am super jazzed about that. And then I'll also say it's one thing to see an artist in their prime, right? So we love New Jack Swing, we love classic R&B. So getting to see the New Edition Way tour, it's gravy, it's gold, it's butter. But there's something to be said for when you see an artist when they're actually like super on the charts. Like when I saw Bobby during the Bobby tour, that's a different Bobby than when you see him now, for example. So I was lucky enough to see at a 65,000 seater at the Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas, Bruno Mars kicked off his world tour here in Vegas,
I
opening
thought he
night.
was in a residency. Is he still? Is that finished?
Oh, he's been doing residencies, but he's done with that. He's got the new album and he got the new tour. Smoking Out the Window, Leave the Door Open, Silk Sonic was also a set within that show, and that was amazing. I mean, to hear like to sell out 2 nights in a row at that capacity, that's an artist in their prime. So that was a lot of fun, and that was last Friday. So it's been a busy go, but we're eating good. We're eating good, and I think that that's something to be grateful for.
Wow, goodness.
Wow.
I've heard. I mean, I just saw a clip of Shantae Moore performing as well. So it looks as if they're wheeling out some of their vets to come in, and Nesby and stuff to come in and grace the stage and stuff.
Yeah.
I would take it that what time is it in Vegas?
Right now it's 1:30. 1:37.
Yeah, so they may be resting. So I doubt if Jimmy would be watching, but he did repost this the promo for this because he appreciates all the celebration. Hey, Colin, welcome. Derek out of Minneapolis, welcome as well. Okay. Yes, I'm thinking. I saw somebody just pop in here. Yes. What is? Nothing comes to mind. There's probably a lot of stuff. Okay. Yes. Nothing comes to mind. And I'm sure it's going to be busy, and I'm sure I'm going to think about it, and then like, oh, I should have brought it up. But anyway,
What have you been up to in the week?
Yes.
yeah, that's what I'm just thinking. I've just drawn a blank, as I said, strange.
The interview. I'm sitting here going like, where do you guys find the time to interview Rex? And in fact, you mentioned it, but I'm just like, there's a whole universe of awesomeness happening. I know you also posted something about, you interviewed Damian Hall. Like, there's a lot of things happening that I can't even keep. It's like being at a buffet and all this food's everywhere, and you don't have the stomach or the time to get to everything. That's what it feels like right now to be alive, in my opinion. Talk about that.
Yeah. No, there's quite a lot. I mean, Colin, you probably watched the Damien interview, and you probably have and have your impressions of it. It's a tough one with the Damien interview because he has he's come out and talked about some of the things that Teddy has said about him and his brother, and he has sort of given Teddy a sort of a message directly on the camera. So I'm having to be very careful how to present some of these things so it doesn't look as though it's looking for some viral moments. But yes, so that would definitely be something that I have to tread delicately around. Somebody, MMAC, was telling me yesterday that he's read the Branding autobiography, and she says she acknowledges she got a note from Whitney, but she doesn't tell us what's in it. So that to him, that was quite disappointing. And yes, okay. And yes, when yes, I now remember now. We're all disappointed that New Edition did not get inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in their first go. I think the fact that they were nominated, the fact that they really got the fans going, I think that was it, and they finished top of the fans voting is a real big achievement. And I think based on how the Academy the works, they probably get another year or two, and then 1 or 2 years, and then it's like, okay, they make noise and they may get in next year. But I think they're very gracious in how their disappointment. They've been very gracious, which has been helpful. So and I'm bringing up New Edition because a lot of them are featured on this album. So we will be able to celebrate them in our own way this evening. But before we get into the soundtrack, did you guys want to say anything? Either one of you want to say anything about the whole process and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
I did.
Go ahead.
I found it interesting because there was the fan vote, right? The fan vote got over 1 million. And in the fan vote, New Edition were top of that list. But the moment I found out that the fan vote only counted for 1 vote or something like that,
yeah,
I just suspected this would happen. The moment I found that out, I'm not going to say anything else because I don't think it adds any value other than I knew it. I suspected it. So that's it. That's all I wanted to say.
Okay. Okay. What about you, Stevie? Any thoughts on it, or did you?
Oh, New Edition. They didn't get nominated. They didn't get in the Rock and Roll. Oh my God, I'm scared. Oh my, this is terrible. It's terrible. New Edition didn't make it. Oh. All these soy boys crying online. They're crying, all crying. They did these one-hit wonders. One-hit wonders. Who's heard of New Edition outside of America? You know, the one-hit wonders from about 1984, Candy Girl. You ask anyone outside of America, have you heard of a group called New Edition? Who? Who? New Edition? No, I've heard of New Kids on the Block. I've heard of New Kids on the Block, but I've not heard of New Edition. Just all tongue in cheek, guys. I'm taking the mickey, all a bit tongue in cheek. But you see where I'm coming from. You see where I'm coming from. You're outside of America. So I'll leave it there. I'll just leave it there. But I love New Edition. Don't get me wrong, I love them. But you've got to see the other side of it. In America, Black America, they're a staple male R&B vocal group. They're huge. But outside of America, you're hard pressed to find anybody who know they are. When was the last hit? Like I say, I'll just leave it there. Leave it there.
Andrew, what about you?
Yeah, I think like the less said, probably the better. But at the same time, like, you know, I finally kind of like let my thoughts be shared. But ultimately, you know, to me, you know, I'm glad that the fans had a moment to really like see their power and see what the power of a movement can do. The timing, I think, was perfect with the tour. Me personally, I just really always not really gave that much stock into what I would consider like mainstream barometers of excellence or dopeness. And I've always felt that R&B as a genre is very, very, very undervalued, overlooked, and not understood by those who are outside of that genre. I think that hip hop, as far as Mobo, which is like a UK reference, but as far as hip hop, as far as Mobo goes, hip hop, reggae, those are genres, even jazz and blues. Those are genres that have more crossover appeal and are more understood by mainstream ears than R&B. I think R&B is as Mobo as you can go as far as contemporary music. And because New Edition represents what I consider like straight up, just unfiltered, you know, commercial to be fair, R&B, it's going to be seen as pop and they're not going to respect it. So whatever. I mean, it's the big W. Let's move on. But, you know, if they do get it, great. But I don't think they should ever, and I don't think the fans should ever attach any disrespect or value judgment to the Hall of Fame because it's not for us anyway, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I would just say from my point of view that I think since BET, since they were sold to Viacom, you know, everything from the Soul Train Awards, the BET Awards, it was just an industry give out. I remember when Heavy D and the Boys won the Soul Train, and it was a massive deal because for them they were passed up by Grammy and American Music Award, and the Soul Train, it felt like, okay, people. It was judged by people who understood the culture and the music.
Yes.
And when you see artists getting 40 Grammys, just because because their husband the year before says, "How come you haven't given my wife a Grammy?" And then, okay, I'm going to put out a country album and I'm going to win Best Album of the Year because, hey, it just says that actually it's like it's not a fair thing, and it's so I put no attachments to it. If they get in, it's great. If they don't, it's the system as it is. There should always be a Black Music Hall of Fame, and which is really dedicated to Black music, regardless of people saying Black people started rock and roll with Little Richie and all that Fat Domino and all that stuff. Yeah, but it's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for many a year has moved and shifted to one direction, and they're trying to balance it. But hip hop are the beneficiaries, and so as you said, R&B music it's not given the due respect as it should.
One more point, though. I've noticed the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is looking a bit outdated, whereas the Grammys, they've got a lot more people, more diverse selection of people now on board, bringing a lot more different, diverse artists on.
Yeah.
You need to move with the times. They do need to move with the times.
Definitely. So, without ado, Dio, welcome as well. DJ All Day. Everyone, welcome as you've come in. As I said, new edition, we can get to celebrate them on this album. The 90s was almost like the golden era for R&B and hip R&B, but for soundtracks, for movie soundtracks, it was one of those things that we definitely put a lot of emphasis on, because we had a lot of good films, and the soundtracks were there to not only promote the films, but also give us something different. And so with this, what was your thought about the moment? Did anyone see the movie? Did anyone see the movie?
I think I've seen it a long time ago. I did see it a long time ago.
Okay. I can barely remember the movie, but the soundtracks. What the soundtracks did is the videos, especially if the songs were good, you'd see some bits of the movie within the songs, and so it was a massive, great way of putting and promoting the movie through the soundtracks. And I would say that I think with this movie, I mean, I think Damon Wayans went up to Jimmy and Terry, says, "Hey, can you do this stuff?" And at 92, it was probably the same thing. They noticed what happened with Boomerang. And I wonder if Boomerang was one of the ones that really, or was a house party, that really gave everyone that sense of, man, we need to invest in, because it felt as though there was a lot more investment in getting good music and producers to do the soundtracks, because they saw this as a great way of promoting the movie. Do you think it was Boomerang's success with "I Would Always Love You" and "Love Should Have Brought You Home Last Night," and or do you think House Party was the turning point? What do you guys think? Because House Party came out 90, Boomerang came out 91, but I think I mean I loved House Party, but I think the Boomerang soundtrack was probably one of the bigger ones and had a bigger impact in promoting the Boomerang movie.
From what I remember, it was a showdown. I believe they were both summer of '92, and I thought that was really cool because, for me, like in my head, it was always the Holy Trinity. Not to big up Bruno again, but I love that he said the same Holy Trinity that I've always said when he got his Grammy in 2017, which was Riley, LA and Face, Jam and Lewis. So to have like Jam and Lewis and LA and Face have soundtracks out at the same time, pretty much. And then have those movies come out at the same time. I considered like Boomerang, the movie, and the soundtrack to be like the hits. Like I think both the movie and the soundtrack for Boomerang were more commercially successful. But I think that while the movie for Mo Money was I think that the soundtrack the soundtrack was ambitious. I think it had more diversity in terms of the approaches of the songs, if you will. So, I do think that Boomerang, is more remembered. And again, when you have heavy hitters like, and we're not talking about Boomerang right now, but when we have heavy hitters like End of the Road and Love Should Have Brought You Home, and even a sleeper heavy hitter, but it's a heavy hitter in my opinion, I Die Without You. Like even Give You My Heart. Like, yeah, there's just so many just hits on that one. But we're here to celebrate Mo Money.
Okay. What do you think, VJ?
I think the turning point was New Jack City. I think New Pack 3604 just mentioned that New Jack City was the turning point. That is the thing that changed everything for black movie soundtracks. It was the catalyst. I know there were lots of soundtracks before. Dragnet in the late 80s was a great soundtrack. There were other soundtracks to note of. Running Scared, House Party in 1990 was a big one, but New Jack City changed everything. And I think this soundtrack and Boomerang were just trying to emulate what New Jack City had already done a year before. That's my thought.
Stevie, Ezekiel says you're looking serious, but what are your thoughts?
I think it was good for, obviously this was on Perspective Records. You got LaFace Records. You tie in record labels, artists with films. I think everybody benefits. I mean, it made sense, didn't it? You got a record label, you're financed by a major label. Let's tie it in with a movie. Everyone's going to be, the artists get promoted, the movie gets promoted, and the label does as well. So I think it all kind of made sense, really. Yeah, really good.
Yeah, and I think, as we said, it was an ambitious project. So I try to do a look and see some of the biggest soundtracks that had producers who did at least 70% of the production. So Babyface did Wait to Excel, which he did 100% of it. He did him and L.A. Reid did 75% of Boomerang. They did over 70% of Soul Food. They did a lot of the production with his team with Have Plenty. And then he did, Prince of Egypt soundtrack. Jimmy and Terry did Crush Groove. Did they do much? Did they do much of that? Because they had, apart from 4-7, they did a lot of stuff. That they said they did about 70%. Did they do a lot of stuff on the Best Man soundtrack? And then also,
but Stella Got Her Groove Back to me was like the Jimmy and Terry answer to Waiting to Exhale. And I remember,
they did that one instead.
Oh yeah, they did Stella Got Her Groove Back, which I love because that song they did with Soul to Soul. I think it was called Free, actually. I remember hearing it in the theater, and there was like a rumbling bass, and it's just like, that was like, I loved it. But you know what? I would have released it. I would have maybe made a single version of it, but that one was great because it was a Karen Wheeler. And then even though Jam and Lewis produced it, you still had what was the name of the guy? Something B. Who was the name of the main Soul to Soul guy? What's his name? Thank you, Jazzy B. Jazzy B doing like, yeah, Jazzy B on the song. Like he's doing his thing, and it felt like, you're right. It felt like classic Soul to Soul. Then they had like a song by Mary J. Blige on there. Yeah, it was good, but it was, you're right, it was good. But to me, like, Exhale, goated. I'm sorry. I feel like
that's the standard. That's the standard of any soundtrack.
Yes.
No one.
Free again. Thank you, New Jack. But
yeah,
so I felt like, so it was just, so just compare Exhale. I think I was 95, and then Stella, I think, was like 98. I think maybe. Then I was like, yeah, like there's some bright spots. Oh, they even had a song with what's his name, Shaggy and Janet on there. That was like the first single. It's called Love Me, I think. But yeah.
But it's hard to because Stella was supposed to be the follow-up to Wait to Excel, but I think it's just hard to come off the heels of that. I wouldn't have touched it. It's almost like, coming, you've been Phil Jackson and Jordan winning the championships, and then you retired, and like, who's coming next? I think I wouldn't have touched the Stella because you just couldn't compete with what Excel did. Yeah, they did some good ones, but this one particular, 92, would you have said in '92 that this was? I mean, and yesterday I went through a lot of the R&B albums that came out in '92 to give a sense of what things we're looking at, and in '92 some of the albums that came out was What's the 411. We had Brian McKnight's debut album, one of the best out there. In Vogue's Funky Divas, Silk's debut album. We had Sade's Love Deluxe, Shanti Moore, Portrait, Rex and Effects, SWV, About Time, High Five, Keep It Going On. So they were quite yes. Yeah, TLC, on a TLC tip. Shy's If I Ever Fall in Love, the Bodyguard soundtrack, the Bobby album. So this was just R. Kelly and Public Announcement, Born into the 90s. So this was just a summary of what was coming out in 92. And you're thinking, okay, musically, you can see the diversity of the songs. And I wonder how this album, having this Jam and Lewis doing over 90% of the album, how it fared when you think of all those albums that I just mentioned that came out in '92. How do you guys think the music held up on this soundtrack?
On this soundtrack?
Yes, More Money. Yeah, based on all the stuff that came out in '92.
I think it's a very exciting soundtrack. Like I'll just name one track for an example. Just think about this, yeah. You've got Big Daddy Kane. It features Low Key. Big Daddy Kane featuring Low Key just blows my mind as a sentence, just that alone. Produced by Jam and Lewis and Prof T and Lance Alexander. So the flow, so Prof T and Lance Alexander with Jam and Lewis, that production group was called The Flow. So that's one of the productions by a new production group called The Flow. And I think it really did stack up against some of the best. I don't think the quality in some parts was as good as what I thought it might be when I heard the soundtrack. Because remember, we were spoiled at the time. Listening to it in hindsight, it sounds incredible. This soundtrack sounds incredible in 2026. But at the time, there was just so much stuff coming out. You've mentioned like 15 artists there, Namdi. Like there was so much stuff going out. It was, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even mention Jade, Nona Gay, Regina Bell, Albie Shaw's Sexy Verses, classic example, Chucky Booker, Nice and Wild, Trailer Wren. You know, there was just so many stuff. But
The Boys, the saga must continue. I will always big that up. I have to, you know. Yep.
You've got to say Jam and Lewis as well. They had like you said, they had a big eye on what was going on in Europe with dance music, street soul. They really moved with the times with this album. I thought, you know, production wise.
When did Janet album come out? Then was that '93?
Yep,
Janet.
Yeah.
So they went from that into okay. So that kind of makes sense. Okay. What did you think? So you thought that they hit the nail on the head with this album compared to what was out in '92? It was
just a big changes in their production sound. You know, they moved from those big 80s chords of the Human League and Sherelle and Alexander O'Neal into a more, you know, they're incorporating more like, you know, club rave, not rave, but I'd say dance sounds that were happening across Europe and filling clubs out. You can hear that on some of the instrumentals on the album as well. And like the girl group they put out, I mean, there's only one record there by a girl group called Crush. It was a bit of a minor hit in the UK. That you know,
nice. I love that one.
So yeah, they kind of moved with the times. I thought very, very well, Jam and Lewis. There's some producers, you know, like your Nick Martinelli's, and you got stuck in the 80s. Couldn't really get out of the 80s, unfortunately, with their sound.
Yeah,
you know, there's a lot more to mention though.
Yeah, I always have to be mindful as I speak. I think for me, when I look at what Jam and Lewis did after the Janet album, and like on Bended Knees, Shanta's Got a Man, all of a sudden they said, yeah, this this drum programming and the sort of fast pace of the production isn't, we did it for Janet, and then they almost said, yeah, we've done it when we moved on. And I actually appreciated Jam and Lewis from the 80s stuff and their post Janet album. I think those are my favorite eras of Jam and Lewis. In fact, as I said, On Bended Knees is one of my top 5 ever songs. They're not the same guy. That doesn't sound the same way as you hear them doing some of the other stuff where they're just doing the programming, almost like, let's try this new Jack beats and production stuff. So I think this album was caught in it's almost like they were doing an experiment to say, yep, we've got what we need. So they're going to do the Janet album. Because some of the beats and some of the drummings on some of the songs, it almost feels as though, wait a minute, is that Janet? Some of the If I'm Not Sure Girl. I mean, it felt like some of the way it starts the intro and the fast tempo, because it felt as if they went from this, went to that, and they said, yeah, we've done it and we're leaving. So I'm caught in the middle. So because I'm listening to this album now, at the time when it first came out, it was like fine. And I think I realized this wasn't my least favorite Jam and Lewis era. So this album fell right in the middle of that. So it might have an influence on how I ranked my songs this evening.
Somebody said something in the comments that got my attention. They talked about how some people don't talk about Jam and Lewis's work with Jordan Knight. And that album came out in '99. The song was called Give It to You. But they also did a good, and Robin Thicke was heavily featured on that album as well. Yeah, that 99, 2000, 2001 era of Jam and Lewis. It was interesting. And then You Remind Me came out in 2001. So anyway, just wanted to just shout that out. There's a song called Broken by You on that Jordan album that is very, it reminds me of Can You Help Me from Usher. So if you haven't heard that album, but you love Jam and Lewis, definitely peep that out. And if Jam and Lewis are like watching this podcast, like, props to spreading your wings and doing that. They had a song with Maya around that time as well. So yeah.
And just before we get into our top 10, what did you guys think of the unofficial New Edition EP that was this album? Because you had BBD, you had Ralph, you had Johnny. So it was an unofficial New Edition EP, went and featured on 3 or 4 songs. So what did you guys think?
I loved it. I remember the first time I heard Money Can't Buy You Love on the radio, I was like, man, it's like the sound of New Edition is back in '92. And I just felt like, and one thing I just realized just this morning as I was listening to this album soundtrack was, I feel like that might have been my favorite rap by Ralph, right? And it's like a lot of like, why is it that Johnny and Ricky, of all people, have never rapped on an album, but like every other member has done a rap, and Ralph did a lot of rapping. I mean, on his first, the whole first song on his debut album is a rap song, right? But I was like, diggy diamonds, rubies, pearls, it don't matter. Like I was like, all right, so I loved it. I was super. So one thing I will say though, I remember being very disappointed, and this is going to go to one of the comments, being so disappointed that the video for Best Things in Life That Are Free didn't feature them all. I was looking forward to seeing Janet, BBD, and Luther Vandross all in a video together. I was like, what? But then it's just like it's just like a different version. It's like more of a house like style song, and they're all just playing around in a carnival, and it's just like Damon and Marlon and I was super excited.
No, I think I would say, based on memories of the time, I think that affected the sales of that album.
Yeah,
it was. I think it had a big impact. The fact that they went in that video. I remember the song playing, but when I didn't see them in there, it was very unusual to have a video without any of them in there. And especially with that pairing. And I think it had an impact. In fact, when I watched the video just this weekend, I'm like, now I know I didn't enjoy it, because it was the actors singing it part. And you only do that if somebody's dead. Back in the days, it's like somebody's died and you don't feature them. You just show pictures and stuff just to celebrate. But they're both around, and it was like, it just felt off for me. So it did impact that. But anyway.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, Justin, I'm sorry I didn't text you because the last time I texted you, you really took the mickey out of me for choosing New Jack City at #1 in the New Jack City soundtrack. So I'm definitely not texting you for that this time. And what have you said? There's no Teddy tracks or remixes on this, so you can't guess VJ's #1. Very funny, mate. Yeah,
I take it Justin's your friend, right?
Justin's my friend. Yeah, he's my
Okay.
Yeah, I know very, very well.
Okay. Janet features were always dope. Remember how bits diamonds. Okay, so let us start. So starting at so for those who are just joining us for the first time, what we've done is we've gone through the album. We've got our top 10, and even though there are 14 songs on this album, we're only going to do from 10 down to number 2. And before we get to our #1, we'll read out what was 14, 13, 12, and 11, and go down to #1. And so please go along. So if you think about it, just you can put it in the chat. What's number 10 as we go for our 10, and then as it is. So number 10 for me is wow. Did I really do that?
Or 12, or we're doing 10. We're going to do 12 or 10. Just making sure.
What do you guys want to do?
Overall? Yeah, up to y'all. Yeah. This is a group decision. I was ready to do 12, but I can do 10 too. That's fine.
Yeah, well, I guess if we did 10, it does kind of make it seem like you don't know what is what, and shortens it. So it helps us for the suspense as well, because it's hard to guess.
You're right,
especially when you think
no song counting, like card counting.
Yeah.
Wild card. I'm with you.
So my number 10, I've just looked at it and I was a little surprised, but it's probably what I put in there. Is a song called "My Dear" by Mint Condition. Yeah, I am. It was, and I know it might surprise a few people, but I remember listening to it, and there's high expectation with Mint Condition. They've given us classics like "Pretty Brown Eyes" and "Breaking My Heart" and stuff. So they are really, they're really good with that. So I'm listening to "My Dear," and it sounds it sounds beautiful, but it doesn't tug on my heart, and I'm not listening to it and thinking, oh yeah, this is it. This is a great track. But it made my top 10. So that's So as I said, my list would probably be upside down compared to most of you guys tonight. Yes, yeah.
I am biting my tongue and my lip, and I'm pinching myself. I don't want to say anything, but I think we have very different lists.
Yes, we do. As I said
that already from the word go. Very different, but I'm glad it's in the top 10 though. I'm glad it didn't make it to 14, 13, 12, or 11.
Everyone, and remember, I've said that actually this was my least favorite era of Jamie and Terry.
Right.
From the Janet album, from this to 94. So so my list would probably reflect a lot of that. But anyway, everyone's going yellow, red. I'm normally Mr. Reliable, but today, okay. VJ, what about you?
I think it's interesting what you said there. You've said you've actually backed up what you said with something actually which makes sense for you for sure, because you've said this was your least favorite period of Jam and Lewis's.
Yeah.
And because you've said that, anything you say is fine, man. You've covered your bases, bro. You've covered it. It's all good. You're good. You're safe. But I just wanted to share this before I start my list. So this was a compilation. It was called, what was it called? The Hit Songs by Jam and Lewis. Yeah, 4-track CD. I'm sure I've shared this before. And it goes by years from 82 to 85, and then 86 to 90, 90 to 92, and 92 to 95. It's actually got 3 songs from this soundtrack on here.
Wow.
So you're talking maybe 80 songs over 4 discs. So you've got The Best Things in Life for Free. You've got Money Can't Buy You Love. You've got I Adore You. Sorry, 3 songs. So I just wanted to share that. This is an interesting timeline. You just mentioned that Jam and Lewis, this was your least favorite period. But yeah, anyway, getting back to the list, my number 10 is Sounds of Blackness, Joy. I think it's a fantastic production. I love the feel of it. I love that it's produced by The Flow. And just to reiterate, that's Jam and Lewis, Prof T, and Lance Alexander from Loki. That was The Flow. And I think that's a production group that could have done some incredible stuff. But I think that was a very short-lived thing. It samples Lynn Collins' Think About It from 1972. And obviously has vocals by the incredible Ann Nesby. And I had to put it in my top 10. I had to keep other songs out because you can't keep Ann Nesby out of a top 10 list like that. Her voice is just too powerful. That's my number 10.
Okay. Stevie.
Wow, 2 very, very strong tracks there gone down at number 10. I'm very, very surprised. Yeah, with you, Namdi, I understand because you probably, I know some of these tracks you might have heard for the first time. Mint Condition, number 10, though. That's a dagger to my heart. Dagger to my heart, that.
Am I breaking your heart?
Yeah.
Song there somewhere.
But I've gone for a track that I feel production-wise is kind of all over the place. And there's bits of it that really kind of irritate me. There's other bits of the track that are very, very catchy. I felt like there was too many. What's it they say when there's too many chefs spoil the broth? And I think with this, you've got like a 60s pop kitsch thing going on in there. You've got a hip hop going on in there. You got a bit of D-Light grooves in the heart going on in there. You got some R&B. It's all thrown in, and I'm not sure it actually quite works. But it was a minor hit in the UK, and I don't even think this group even made another record after this, which I find astounding. They could have been a massive pop group, but it's Crush. Let's Get Together. Fun track, but it's all over the place. It is all over the place for me.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting one. That I think I like that song, but you know that bit where it says I'm feeling so groovy now. That little that I think that ruined it for me because I think the rest of the song really resonates. You listen to the rest of the vocals. I thought the vocals were powerful. Production is so good. And don't get me started on the remixes. There's a remix by a guy called Jason Hess who did he did the tracks. He was involved in Simple Pleasures, Can't Get You Out of My Mind, and I Think I'm Falling. Also Malika and For Real, Easy to Love. So I like it, but that little bit, I don't know, man. And Andrew, you really want to say something, dude. I know you do.
I wanted to raise my hand, and that was so funny. So that so groovy now, da, 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 da. Like back then, right before the internet and all that, I always assumed that was a sample of an earlier 60s song. Is it, or is that original as well? I'm speaking to the professors here. Do you guys know?
Crush.
The which bit, sorry?
What's that?
Crush.
The which bit?
Oh,
there is a Friend and Lover, Reach Out of the Darkness from 67.
Right, but I've never heard that.
GQ Disco Nights 12-inch dance mix. They're the only two tracks.
I'll have to listen to those songs. So I guess it's my turn now. Interestingly enough, gotta call Stevie my brother on that one because honestly, this is proof that I enjoyed the soundtrack more than I thought because So Groovy Now, Let's Get Together at number 10 is actually my pick as well. And I actually liked it. I liked it. And I thought it was perfect for the radio. And I do remember seeing the video at one point on a local music station. And that whole So Groovy Now Together. I loved the way the background sounded. I felt like even the content of the song was very pro-social. It was like peace in the Middle East and everybody just like get together and it was very Rhythm Nation. So to me, I almost felt like, was this like a Janet Jackson throwaway? Like, and they just gave it to them? You know, I just felt like the group absolutely could have been bigger, which also makes me wonder about Perspective Records in general. I feel like this soundtrack was like the opening statement for Perspective. And I think Perspective may have folded around maybe 99, 2000, but like it was an ambitious project where it was like, we're going to take all the acts that maybe have been rejected by the mainstream labels. Like when I think Sounds of Blackness, I think they're on Perspective too. It's like mainstream labels don't understand them, so it's like, okay, you know what? We're not F you guys. Basically, we're gonna do it by ourselves, and we're gonna believe in these artists that we can produce. I thought it was a great song, and so that the fact that it's at number 10 tells you that all the other songs I'm gonna name are songs I was very enthusiastic about and honestly preferred. But to Boomerang, even though I know Boomerang was the bigger, more successful soundtrack. So at number 10, it is Crush with Let's Get Together.
Okay. Can I share 2 little facts about Crush, please, just if I may?
No.
So there's a member of Crush called Karen Ashley. She was, for the first 3 seasons, the Yellow Power Ranger, if that means anything to any of you.
Wow, you dug deep there. You dug deep, Vito, because I was wondering, did these girls go on to do anything?
No, that's very interesting, because you're right, Stevie, you mentioned it. They haven't released one song after this, not one, which is, considering their vocal talents, I thought they were very good. And the other thing I was going to say, if you guys get a chance, listen to the, what's it called? 90s for Peace remix by Jason Hess. The instrumentation on that is ridiculous. Please listen to it, or don't. It's just my recommendation. I think it's stunning. Anyway, that's all I have to say about Crush.
Nice.
Well, back to me, going to number 9. It is I think this was their answer. Was it their answer to? It looks as though I'm just keeping a check in here. It feels like this was their answer to Teddy's Jam, and it's the More Money groove. It was the More Money groove at number 9. It had Damien Wayans. He must have been in there. Johnny Gill, Ralph, Crush, and Low Key. The More Money groove. So I'd listen to it and say, oh, this is like Teddy's Jam, but it wasn't too bad, but it was it was a nice little production stuff. Got at number 9, so it beat out 4 other tracks, 5 other tracks. Not much to say about it, but yes, at number 9.
Okay, my number 9 is, and I know a lot of people will like this a lot more, and I understand that. I get it. It's not that I don't like it. This is like New Jack City. There's some very, very strong songs. So any of the songs from 10 to 1, they're all solid. And my number 9 is Jam and Lewis, The New Style. So I love that they created this style of song, but I feel for Jam and Lewis, the sound that really resonated with me of theirs was when they had that Minneapolis funk, that sound that wasn't a hybrid of anything else. They just had their style from the 80s, etc. But like I said, the Mo Money soundtrack is like a great buffet. You take what you want and you leave the rest. It's not that I leave this. It's just that I can't put this ahead of other songs that are coming up because there's so many good songs. There's so much goodness to offer on this soundtrack. And Namdi, as you mentioned, all those different artists that came out in 92. But I've written this down here. We were spoiled, and we have to remember that. There was just too much good music. So respectfully, and my number 9 is Jam and Lewis, The New Style.
Oh, okay, you got the New Style. Okay, so that was their groove, their
techno,
their
basically.
techno kind of thing. Okay, Teddy's Jam 2, right? Oh,
yes, very much so.
Something like that.
Okay, Stevie, what about you?
I was really, for 10, 9, 8, and 7, I was kind of struggling to put tracks in place. Really struggling. My top 6 was definitely definitely nailed on. And then from 10, I was really struggling, to be quite honest.
Why is that?
I don't know, probably because some of these tracks at the top end, I didn't really listen to much, including this one from from one of the greatest 90s, 80s MCs, Big Daddy Kane. Ends up at number 9 with a job ain't nothing but work. A job ain't nothing, you know. I mean, he'd done so much better stuff, so much more classic hip hop material. I do like this track. I was listening to it again. I thought it's okay, and I like you say, I was struggling to put some at 9 and number 10. But yeah, Big Daddy Kane, not it's good, but not outstanding. So it's made number. I think by about 92, Big Daddy Kane was kind of waning off. Sadly, his popularity was waning off a bit, wasn't it? Long into the 90s then. So yeah, that's my number 9 anyway. I don't know if anyone wants to disagree with me about old Big Daddy Kane, because he's a great MC, but from about 88 up to about 91, he was hot. You know what I mean? He was hot.
Yeah, I think this. When I first read this, the title of this song, I thought, was this an ode to "I Get the Job Done" by Big Daddy Kane and Teddy Riley? Because I think both Jam and Lewis and LA and Babyface were massively influenced by Teddy's sound. They just were, man. So from when Teddy came out, and like we mentioned, the new style sounds a little bit like Teddy Jam to me. And yeah, but I know what you're saying about Big Daddy Kane, and maybe not one of his best songs, but yeah, good song nonetheless.
I just want to give Jez, who's in our chat tonight, big shout out to Jez, who did a good hip hop set down at the Vinyl Resting Place record store yesterday on Saturday, and after that he went to see the MC. Does anyone remember Ra Digger? He went to see Ra Digger live in Manchester.
He lives in Manchester.
I should have went.
Did you say Ra Digger lives in Manchester?
No, she was performing last night in Manchester.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he was at that as well. I hope it was a good one, Jez. Anyway.
Hello, Jez.
Yes.
So who was the females that sang who was doing the back? Because they said low key, featuring low key, which you can barely hear, but there was a female which sounded like Ann Nesby, who was just like
yes.
Lisa Keith, perhaps?
No, it was a gospel-y voice.
Yeah. Does it say in the credits? Because I don't.
I'm looking. I don't see it. I don't see it. At least not online.
A job ain't nothing but work, and then there's almost sounds like.
If I can see, my eyesight's shot. So
I'm the same way.
Like I don't need glasses and I'm cool, but I need the glasses and I can't see anything that I'm looking at. Give me about 3 hours. Come back. You guys carry on.
All right. I'll go, and then when you get it, just shout it out. My number 9 was definitely the most played on the radio here in the Bay Area, and I actually think it's a solid track. And it's the beginning of, I would say, the singles run. I feel like this artist, she's not really known for her albums, except maybe the earlier ones, but then she just had fire singles. So it is indeed Ice Cream Dream by MC Lyte. I remember, and it's crazy because that single, I'm looking now, and it lines up. The single came out in early '93, and I remember kind of feeling bad for the Mo Money soundtrack because I felt like it didn't really hit the way it was supposed to. But then that album came out. The single came out, and I was like, "Oh, it's from this soundtrack, cool." It was actually it peaked at number 11 at the U.S. Hot Rap Singles, so it was actually a respected, solid track, and I think it kind of helped MC Lyte transition from late 80s hip hop into the 90s. And a lot of the late 80s hip hop rappers, they weren't able to cross that kind of gangster rap era, and they just stuck behind that wall. So yeah, Ice Cream Dream at number 9, and I think that it's a solid song. I will never skip it. If it comes on, I'll let the whole thing play.
I found out the credits if you're interested.
Yeah.
Yes.
It says lead vocals Big Daddy Kane, background vocals Low Key, additional vocals Ann Nesby.
Sounds like it.
Boom.
Yeah, I'm listening to you. I'm thinking.
There you go.
Hear a voice. Okay, thanks for that. But if you think about it, a year after this was Roughneck.
Yes.
And then can you? So there's a.
Completely
So
different.
she kind of kept going, but then Roughneck was her
Singles.
the big single that really took off. But I think she probably started thinking, based on how this song was with Jam and Lewis, let me go in a different direction. Let me get the kind of producers that could give me something different and unique. Because she just kind of went from there and went through Puffy to do stuff. She went to Jermaine Dupri.
Keep on keeping on with Dre, and then Full Rock a Party. Yep.
So I think she calculated, like, if I can get on every album, just get one of the big producers to add some stuff, some sauce to it, it will get me mainstream. And I love Keep On Keeping Up, but Roughneck was just like, it was just. It just really reinvented her and took it to a different side. Yeah. Okay. Number 8 for me. It's my first New Edition track. And I don't know. The video version and the album version of this song are quite different. It was too fast for me. It just felt like it was just too. If the beats were was much slower, I would have appreciated the track more. Although Luther can keep up with it, but it just felt too rushed. And then memories of them not being in the videos. Best Things in Life are Free.
Yeah,
I just was disappointed that they weren't in the video. It just felt, I felt cheated. And then I'm watching and I'm listening to the album version, and it just felt too fast. And I'm thinking, right, why would they do it that fast? So anyway, Best Things in Life are Free at number 8.
What?
I told you this. I told you this is. I'm listening to it. And switching it around and just thinking, what? I've Jam and Lewis. I think I've in my generation, the greatest sets of R&B producers, but I love the 80s stuff and I love their posts from 93 onwards. I just think that, I just think that there was this album was this was just the experiments for the Janet album, and then they just moved on from that.
I want to jump in, Rose, for a second. I also think Provocative is in that category as well. The Johnny Gill, the second album, with like the floor and everything else, like that's also within this era of their sound. So does that, for just asking a question for you, does that sit outside of like your kind of like not so favorite, or does Provocative like fit with the same kind of too fast?
But when you listen to Provocative, you've got Jam and Lewis and you got LA and Babyface.
Right.
And I think there was a concerted effort to make sure that the Johnny album, that anything they did with Johnny did not stray too far apart. And so they were, and then maybe Johnny, because Johnny is very opinionated, had a sense of let's let I don't, the floor didn't do as well as Rub You the Right Way. So they were so I think they had to stop the New Jack kind of direction and get back to their core and stuff. DJ all day. He says, Namdi's got Brian McNice and going out there. Good. It's suddenly, as I said, I knew listening to that, man, these guys, it's just they're so high standard, and so something about the track, the soundtrack didn't. Anyway, so VJ, what's number 8 for you?
Number 8. I was going to say before that, this era of Jam and Lewis, like this early Jam and Lewis with this one, this is my favorite album cover ever. This is the one. It's SOS Band 3 with High Hopes, when they're beginning of Jam and Lewis's era with them.
Oh, awesome track.
And, this album is perfection, absolute perfection. If we ever get a chance to review them together, I'm sure you've done Hearsay with other people, guys. But,
we haven't.
Hearsay is an album that is very good.
We'll do it. We'll do it one day. We will do it.
SOS Band. And the other person, because you said about Jam and Lewis era and all of this, the thing that changed Jam and Lewis's sound for me and is when, and I mean this respectfully to Jam and Lewis, is when they broke up the Beatles. And what I mean by that is when they took Steve Hodge away from Leon Silvers around 81, 82, 83, and they used him as a mixer and engineer, because their sound changed completely from that point on. And they were unstoppable after that. Because you got to remember, Steve Hodge was working with the Whispers, Shalimar, the Silvers, Midnight Star, Dynasty, Lakeside, Carrie Lucas. That boy was unstoppable with Leon Silvers. And that was the biggest coup for Jam and Lewis, in my opinion. I just wanted to share that. What are we on, number 8?
Yep.
Number 8 is, my number 8 is Mo Money, All Stars, Mo Money Groove. Background vocals by Johnny Gill, Crush, and Low Key. Sampled in 3 songs. Lynn Collins, You Can't Love Me If You Don't Respect Me from 73. Pulsar City Alarm, Adams and Freisner from 84. And James Brown, Make It Funky from 71. I really like this song, and I think it's a smidgen better than the Jam and Lewis, the new style. But those two are interchangeable. I like them both, and they both sound, they both got the same energy for me. But today, this is the one I put at number 8.
Wow.
Okay. Steve, what about you?
I want to say a good evening to Robert, who's from my hometown of Bury. Catch my video tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Because I know, Robert, you went to the Wax and Beans record store for many, many years. And I was in the queue there yesterday morning. I also got a nice interview with Ben from there. Also, big good evening to Big Mike's, who we bumped into down in Birmingham, me and VJ, at the New Jack Brum event a few weeks ago, which was sensational, absolutely sensational. And VJ didn't stop dancing for 5 hours. He could barely walk when he left the venue, you know? So
able to walk.
Yeah, that was some night. Anyway, my number, what are we on, number 8? I've gone for the dance gospel banger, Sounds of Blackness. Yeah, you have to be in a real mood to listen to this one, because it's pounding in it. It's right up there. You know what I mean? You gotta, I suppose it does uplift you when you listen to it. Has Namdi frozen on us, or is he just chilling?
He's there. He's chilling.
He's there. But anyway, yeah, I've gone for the Sounds of Blackness. I think you summed the description up perfectly there, VJ, before when you talk about Ann Nesby. And I think, like you say, there were some really good mixes on the 12-inch import as well. So I've gone for that at number 8.
And I was going to say about that song, like that was also, it was done by The Flow. Can you imagine if The Flow had done a remix of this? Jam and Lewis and Low Key had done a remix of that. It would have been killer. They should have done some remixes, but other alternate universes and all that.
It was more set up for dance mixes. Did Dave Morales do some mixes on it? I can't remember who did the mixes on it.
Was it Roger? No, Roger Sanchez?
On Joy.
I can't remember. I think Roger Sanchez that did one of the mixes?
I'm sure there was a 12 with Joy and Testify. I don't know if Testify was the mix. I can't remember now. I'd have to look through my 12s, but
there are some house remixes, definitely.
Yeah. Anyway, Mr. Knight, what was your number 8?
My number 8 was a song that I didn't really like at the time, but I like it more now. And I think that it was a testament to just how much of a hot commodity this artist was, because he was the only one who was on both Boomerang and Mo Money. And the song is called Let's Just Run Away by the one, the only, Skills, the voice, JG. And I remember thinking to myself, like, don't tell nobody, it's a private affair. I'm just kind of like, what is this song? I don't like it. But now I actually think it's totally underrated. And it's one of those songs, like, I would love to see Johnny do a concert where it was just like, okay, fine, I've heard you. Like, I will do all the songs I've never done before live. I am banning There You Go. Sorry, I know everyone loves that song. I don't understand it. He always performs that song, but I'll do I'm still waiting. I will do Let's Just Run Away. I will do Giving My All to You. I'll even do Just Another Lonely Night. Like, I will do all the songs that are the ish, but you've never done them live. Your voice is too damn good to at least not bless us once with these songs live. So yeah, man, I think Let's Just Run Away. There's probably people who don't even, there are probably Johnny Gill fans who don't know this song exists. I bet you would exist. So, as that happened. So yeah, man, it's a private affair. I'd actually call it Let's Just Run Away in like parentheses, it's a private affair or something like that. Like, it's just, or maybe have like an EP called the Private Affair EP, and then it's just all these like kind of B-sides. Or maybe it's a Private Affair concert. I made all this up on the spot. Man. All right, I'm done.
How is that number 8?
I'm surprised you had it so low.
I'm
Because the rest are killers, man. I will have like personal anecdote receipts for the rest of them, man. I'm telling you, I love these songs. I'm about to like big up. But yeah.
Okay. Well, I had it at number 7, so not too far behind. I think Johnny is, as they say, can sing the phone book, but he's had better production and more memorable songs that you can sing along with and remember. There was just something lacking with this, I think, and yes, and so so it's on number 7. I've heard better. I've seen some better. And okay, I have to be careful now. And when I'm saying be careful, I'm just thinking about. I think I was listening to this album and thinking, if Jam and Lewis just did their 14 tracks, if they had just done 6, would it have been a better album? I know they didn't do the Flavor Flav one, but it just felt like a lot of pressure to do this, and yeah. So as I said, it felt like they've done better stuff with these artists individually. Mind you, when Johnny was recording the Any Heartbreak, they were still recording his debut album at the same time.
Awesome.
So I can't remember. And then, and because Karen White was singing backgrounds on Fair Weather Friend when they were doing her album in 88, 87. So you can see that he had already, so they took their time before they did his debut album, which came out in 1990. So they'd been recording since Any Heartbreak. So he was recording at the same time. So when I'm listening to this, I'm thinking, yeah, it's a nice Johnny you're singing, but yeah, there's something missing. So yeah, that's number 7 for me.
All right. Stevie, you asked about who did the remix for Joy. It was David Morales. And I said that I wish there was the Flow remix for Joy. There are 2 remixes by the Flow, and I've got the 12-inch. I didn't even realize.
I thought there was. I
like the remixes, but I don't know. For some reason, I thought, I don't know, somebody else had done it. But the Philly Soul remix is by them, and also the Overjoyed mix. And the Philly Soul mix also features background vocals by Big Jim Wright, who close affiliation with Jam and Lewis, rest in peace, Big Jim, and Jamesia Bennett, which is also very interesting. That's an interesting one.
it is.
For those that know who Jamesia Bennett is. Number 7, my number 7 is Big Daddy Kane's A Job Ain't Nothing But Work. Again, produced by The Flow, Jam and Lewis, Property, Lance Alexander. This didn't have a single, contains 4 samples. The Emotions, Best of My Love from 77. Nicely used. Prince's Let's Work from 81. Roger, So Rough, So Tough, also from 81. And Xavier, featuring George Clinton and Bootsy Collins, Work That Sucker to Death from 1982. It's a great song, but Stevie, as you mentioned earlier, I think 88 to 91 was peak Big Daddy Kane, and Big Daddy Kane for me is a top 5 MC, so this isn't one of his best, but I still like it. I still like it a lot. My number 7.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay.
Does anybody remember the group Prodigy from the early 90s?
I'm a fire starter.
That's the one. That's the one. Because it's just my number 7. It's just come to me now what this instrumental reminds me of, and I'm trying to work out whether this instrumental came first or Prodigy was before it. I can't remember what year was. Does anyone in the comments?
Was more like mid, like they were known for "Smack My B Up" and then
yeah. So it was a few years after.
Yes,
that's why it's amazing, because I actually think this track does sound a lot like Prodigy. It's like Prodigy on slow mo. It's Jam and Lewis, the new style, doing their like dance rave flow. It's not as. It's just, it just reminds, for some reason, it reminds me of the Prodigy, or maybe Prodigy took inspiration from that. I don't know, but yeah, number 7. I can't place this any further up. I think it's the. I was umming and ahhing about Sounds of Blackness at number 7 and Jam and Loose above it, but it's just fell at number 7. I do think it's a solid instrumental. I think it is a soundtrack type track, which would sound great in some B-roll of a movie, you know what I mean, in the background. So yeah, just a bit of, I think it enabled Jam and Lewis to be, to just expand what they were doing on this soundtrack as well. So that's a great example of it. Number 7.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And I'll add that I remember when I heard the soundtrack before I saw the movie, I was like, where in the movie would this be? Right. Yeah. And there is a club scene in the movie, and that's where they play it. So, and it fit the club scene actually. But yeah, that's that. I'm with you on that. Very insightful. My number 7 is a song that I like actually. And I just felt like it was so, avant-garde is probably the wrong word, but certainly classy, very champagne-y, like, hold your pinky ring up, like, while you're drinking your champagne. It's sophisticated. And I like two samples in it, right? So the first one is the chorus is actually taken from Sybil's Don't Make Me Over. That I adore you. I like that. And that whole, and it's not written anywhere, but that, forgive me guys, but I'm going to hurt your ears, but there's little like in the song, it happens over and over again. That's from Back to Life, like the Soul to Soul a cappella version, that steady, are you ready? So I love that Jam and Lewis took Back to Life, because it's Karen Wheeler, and that unrelated Don't Make Me Over, and made a whole song about it. And then they really channeled Soul to Soul. Like, if you told me I Adore You was a Soul to Soul song, I would have believed it. But no, I think that Jam and Lewis were really good at like emulating, but putting their own spin on music that they actually like. They're fans of music as well. And that to me is like, that's awesome. It's just, it's almost like they're alchemists. They just take different things and make new things out of it. So that's why I Adore You is at number 7. It's hypnotic. It's sophisticated, and it's probably one of the more unique tracks on the album. So yeah, at number 7.
It's at number 7. What is he doing there?
But you know what I'm saying? I spoke passionately about it, but it's number 7. So the passion's going to come out even more for the higher up tracks.
That's it. Just stand your ground, man. That's it. You got to stand your ground and back it up. That's it.
Okay, so number 6 for me is I wonder if it's the song or the vocalist that really gets me. Because, and I wonder if I'm enjoying this because of things they did later on. But it's joy and pain like sunshine. No, I'm just kidding. Joy by Sounds of Blackness. But something about Ann Nesby's voice that is just so soothing. Very few recording artists have recognizable vocals that just does something to you. So like Luther, when he just, when he sings, it's just like, my goodness, where did this come from? Tamia for me is another female artist that when she sings, there's just something with her. But Ann Nesby, she just, so that's why when I heard the Big Daddy Kane, I was like,
Yep.
That sounds like Ann, because there's something soothing about her and this whole Sounds of Blackness and the whole thing. Who Jam and Lewis, I have to always give them credit that they didn't do the let's make some money, let's go sign this, Shakira or J-Lo. They said, let's focus on the music and the talent, sign Sounds of Blackness, and gave us amazing tracks. So Joy is just something about that. So that's at number 6.
And Namdi, if you're, I don't know if you know it. Do you know her 93 album? Is it 93? 95. I'm Here For You. Jam and Lewis produced the whole thing.
Wow.
There's a track on there called Thrill Me. And I'm telling you, if you like Ann Nesby's voice, it's over, man.
Thrill Me's a killer.
Thrill Me is a song that Namdi, you will love. If you don't know it, please listen to it. It's just a recommendation for you. Anyway, number 6 for me is, where are we? It's MC Light and Ice Cream Dream. This was a single. It samples EPMD's So What You're Saying from 89. It features vocals by Lisa Keith. It has an incredible Jermaine Dupri remix. The 7-inch of this song sells for $150, only pressed in the UK. Worth it if you can get it. Looks beautiful. And this song has got better for me over the years. I feel more connected to it now than I did previously. And I didn't like it so much at the time, but now it's so good, man. Ice Cream Dream is an incredible song. And we're only at number 6, and I can't speak highly enough of this song. It is so good.
Exactly.
And is there a delay in my feed or something?
No.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Okay. Stevie, what about you? What's number 6 for you?
I'll just mention that on Thursday, if you're from the Northwest, I found out today that on Thursday at lunchtime in HMV in Manchester, the artist Jessie Ware, she dropped a brand new album out on Friday. It's a fantastic album. There's a really good dance track on it. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Jessie Ware, but she's doing an album signing on Thursday in HMV. I might sneak out of work on my lunch to go and get an album signed off.
Wait to announce it before your boss says, "Hey, where's Stevie?"
Yeah. Just sneaking out to get my album. Anyway, number 6. I'll be honest, from number 6 to number 1 on any given day, I could have put any of these tracks now at number 1. They're all outstanding. This is the half of the album now that is just one after the other's outstanding for me. And at number 6, one of my favourite groups, it's landed at number 6, Mint Condition, My Dear. Didn't make the top 5. That's terrible. That is terrible. But it's not as terrible as putting it number 10, Namdi.
Hey, at least they made it.
But My Dear, it's a haunting track. It's got a haunting feel to it.
Yes.
It should be in the top 5. It should be in the top 5, but I don't know. I feel terrible for even being at number 6. Terrible. What a track.
Incredible.
It is unbelievable track.
Oh goodness, Andrew.
All right, so I'm with you, Namdi. Like I so we're resonating on this. So I remember, like, when I first heard my number 6, I was also thinking, why is it so damn fast? It's like, what is like doom 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 doom? I'm like, okay, whatever, right? But I was still excited by like hearing sister, blah, 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 yeah, more money. Like it was just kind of like, wow, Jam and Lewis, here we go. Jam and Lewis for that, right? And then like, you, Ralph T, the best things in life are for free. I'm like, holy crap, like this song is packed, right? And I thought to myself, I bet you it was going to be New Edition and Janet Jackson. then all of a sudden they could have got Luther, and they're like, well, shoot. I mean, sorry, man. Like Luther is like, we got Luther on the track. But anyway, so I remember just being, and then so I was disappointed by that, and then like exactly like you, like I saw the video, I'm like, okay, this song is officially whack. Like, why? Like, what? But anyway, listening to it now, I appreciate it, and it's just like to have that many heavy hitters on one track. It's just like cool, and it's I don't. Okay, sometimes I skip it. I'll be honest with you, but for the most part, I don't. And I still,
are you hearing what he's saying?
Yeah. But it was ambitious. That's where I'll give it. It was ambitious, and I got to give it love. And it just didn't make the top 5, but it's still high enough to be top 6. So, I feel good about that that choice, and I'm sticking by it. It was a stacked track.
Yeah. I maybe for slower, and I think sometimes it's like it's my Spider-Man 3, and I don't know if you've seen Spider-Man 3 where it had Sandman, it had everyone, and it just felt like the Venom. It was too many villains in there, and I was like, this is just too much. You just go with 1 or 2, but you had 3. You had Goblin, so it just felt too much. So with the track, it was just, and probably that's why it's so fast. Let's try and get everyone in there. Yeah, okay. Somebody might have noticed that I was on my phone. Just as we were going through it, I got a message from Topaz from Abstract.
Oh.
And so because I just posted a tribute to Bernard Bell, and who passed away about a year or 2 years ago. And I think, everyone knows who Bernard Bell is from Remember the Time, Kissing Game, Do Me Right, and all that stuff. So I just, his son reached out to me, and I put a trip through it. And then Topaz just said, "Oh yeah, Bernard was a beast." And I remembered, he did a lot of stuff with them in Abstract. So I've just asked her, like, "Hey, we need to hear your story." So I'm waiting to see if he's up for that. But that's why I've been on my phone. It's almost like, oh, okay, yeah. Outside at number 5 for me is I'm surprised it was there. It was lingering at number 11 or 12. Then it grew on me, and it's even though it did give me vibes of Kumo D, but A Job Ain't Nothing But Work by Big Daddy Kane featuring Ann Nesby. I didn't really hear Low Key in there. Is at number 5. It stands out to me. It was just different, and as I said, probably not one of his best. It's not. I Work. It's not as good as that, but it's in '92. It seems like an adequate that he can still hold his own a little bit. So that's at number 5.
Nice.
The Job Ain't Nothing But Work.
Nice song.
And number 5.
I told you, this is back to front this time around.
It really is, man. It really is.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's if we all had the same list, it'd be boring.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's all good. My number 5 has
Dio has it at number 5 as well.
Wow. Fair enough. Big Daddy Kane fans there coming through.
Yeah, representing. My number 5 has no samples. It had an incredible remix by Jermaine Dupri called Dupri's Fat Dough and Diggity Diamond Remix, which is incredible. Andrew, of all people, would be very disappointed that I put this at number 5, I think. But it's Ralph Tresvant's Money Can't Buy You.
Wow, man.
I love it. It's fantastic. The production is solid. Ralph sounds great. It hits. Brilliant song. Brilliant song. But unfortunately today, that's as high as I could put it. Number 5, Ralph Tresvant. It's made the top 5. And just to reiterate, I love this song. Great song. Proper Jam and Lewis track.
Yes.
Proper. And this doesn't feel like it's a hybrid Jam and Lewis. This feels like a Jam and Lewis song. If that makes any sense to anybody, it's a proper Jam and Lewis track. And I'll just leave it at that. That's my number 5.
Hey, top 5, man. To me, top 5 of any list, I think is fair play. Like that's no heartbreak here. Pun sort
All
of
right,
intended.
cool, man, cool. Just checking, man.
Yep, appreciate it.
Steve.
Good evening to Benson's in the chat. Hopefully he'll save me a seat at the MJ premiere on. When is it going? When's it going, Namdi? Is it Tuesday morning or Wednesday?
Wednesday morning.
Wednesday. I'll have to sneak out of work on Wednesday morning as well. You know what I mean? For like 3 hours to see the MJ movie. He's also been running around on the quiet, running around record shops buying some new Jack Swing records. I think I've inspired him to go out there and get digging. He's finding some absolute killers as well. Absolute killers, you know. Maybe he's got a few doubles. We shall see. Anyway, number 5 for me is it's a new Jack Swing banger. It got some great dance remixes from probably Frankie. I think Frankie Knuckles and CJ McIntosh did some mix, and they were bigger. They were bigger over here in Europe and the UK than you never really heard the original album mix. And again, it was a hit in the UK, big club hit. But I still go for the original album mix, and I did get a CD single with that and the album instrumental on as well, just them two, to make a little longer version. But it's Luther Janet, BBD, and the absolute banger, The Best Things in Life Are Free.
Nice.
You know, it makes you feel really good when you listen to that, doesn't it? You know, it really cheers you up, that record, you know.
Absolutely.
Great record.
Respect. Putting respect on it.
Well, yeah. I mean, what did you make of the tempo of the track, though? Quite fast.
I didn't mind that because, like I say, it was New Jack's, you know, a real New Jack banger. Let's get the tempo going.
Wow.
You know.
Okay. Yeah.
In fact, the house mix actually slowed it down a bit. I'm sure it did. I'd have to check the BPM, but it seemed to slow it down slightly.
Yes.
Okay, Andrew, what about you?
All right. And I will say, no, not WrestleMania this weekend, but you know, it is WrestleMania weekend here in Vegas right now too. There's always something happening here. But no, my number 5 reminded me of the fact that even though this member of actually the sound of the group and the lead singer, I feel like even though he may have had like the least commercial success of all the spinoffs, it's not for lack of trying. I think not only did House Party 2 make a concerted effort to make him front and center, whether it's performing in pajamas, you know, with Yo Baby Yo, or having his song open the credits of the movie for House Party 2. This movie opens up with Money Can't Buy You Love, and even the first track, which is my number 5, Mo Money All Stars, he's all over this track saying, come on, come on, come on. How many bills you got? A lot, a lot. How many bills you got? Like, it's like they really, at least from a Hollywood perspective, really try to push Ralph front and center. So for that reason, and because the beat is actually, because the beat is like, you know, it's slower than the Best Things in Life Are Free, and it just has like a lot of different, like, you know, Johnny Gill's doing his thing on there, and they're all scatting and everything, having fun. It was a great way to open the album. So at number 5, I actually do like the Mo Money All Stars track. It reminds me of that the Full Force House Party song, like where it's like the full force. I can't talk right now. It's the Full Force Family House Party, get funky. It's the same kind of thing. It's a party. So at number 5, Mo Money All Stars.
Yeah, it was the first one I said, oh, this is like Teddy jam for me, Teddy, because there was ad-libs and it was just the groove, so there wasn't a particular song and stuff, but okay.
The way you explain that, Andrew, it makes sense why you put that there. That was a really good explanation why, and the fact that Ralph was put front and center.
He was front and center. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Come on.
That makes sense. Total sense.
But then, did you not see in the clip that I put around about this album when Jimmy and Terry were on Arsenio with Ralph, and they said he's one of the hardest working artists in the studio.
1,000%. No, it's like he'll be, because also that great story about how Bobby was like, I want to do my plot. Like basically Bobby, y'all thought, I love that story. How Ralph will be in the studio, you got to kick him out of the studio. Whereas Bobby's like, when he's ready to do his part, he's ready to do his part. And if you don't let him in right then and there, he's gonna get mad and leave. But no, Ralph is like, he's just, yeah, it's just a trip. It's a weird thing, because between the industry getting behind him and him with his work ethic, to me, it was the zeitgeist. It was, people were looking for more of that harder edge at that point in the early to mid 90s. And, you know, yeah, just bad timing, I guess.
And I'm sure somebody will misconstrue what I'm saying here, but I think of Ralph Tresvant and Damien Hall in a similar way, because I think they're the two individuals that kept those two respective groups together. Ralph Tresvant with New Edition, I think he was the glue that really pulled everything together, and I think Damien did the same thing with Guy. That was just my interpretation of how I've seen things over the years with both groups, and I mean that with the utmost respect for both of those people. But yeah, just a thought.
I would say that the closest person who sings like Michael without trying to emulate him was Ralph. Because almost like when Michael's trying to get in, when Ralph is singing in that type of, he doesn't overstrain it, but he just keeps in that sound, but he doesn't try and do like a Michael. But I'm listening to Ralph, I'm thinking, yeah, this is like a Michael stuff, but in your own way. The passion and emotion as with the force, but just tempered so it doesn't sound off key, doesn't sound forced. He knows he's no Johnny Gill, but he keeps it in his pocket, and then that's like, you know, Michael doesn't try and say, "Oh, Luther, I'm going to try and out-sing him." He has his range, and when he wants to be forceful in it, he does it in his range, and I listen to Ralph and I can hear that. So, yeah. Okay. Number 4 is, I'm sorry, I kind of spoiled it when I had played it, but it's Flavor Flav, Get Off My Back.
Wow.
I thought that he's one of the standout tracks on the house party stuff, and it's always strange that when they're doing these fun albums, they don't get Chuck D. They bring Flavor Flav in, and he just holds his own. The monkey's off my back, and he just goes through his whole thing, and he just stands out. He just stands out. So yes, it's a Get Off My Back, Public Enemy featuring Flavor Flav. Regardless, he brings his own style. I think Chuck would have been a little bit too serious. You know, he would have been a serious stuff. So when they do Malcolm X, they bring in Chuck D. When they're doing a fun comedy movie, Flav, it's on you. So that's at number 4 for me. Only track not produced by Jimmy and Terry,
Right.
produced by the Bomb Squad.
Huh.
Bum diddly dee.
That's an interesting point what you make about Flavor Flav in these kind of soundtracks. That's a very good point, actually. I never thought of it like that.
Yeah.
Because in House Party as well, right?
Yeah.
Yep. 911's a joke, probably the biggest hit on the album.
Yeah.
Wait, I can't do nothing for your man. My bad.
I can't do nothing for you, man.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's interesting that so there's 7 songs that were pressed as singles, whether they came out officially or not. And Public Enemy's Get Off My Back was pressed onto a Perspective Records promo. So for me and Stevie as record collectors, I can guarantee you Stevie's thinking just like me. Public Enemy featuring Flavor Flav on Perspective Records makes no sense, and it's just crazy. Just crazy. Right, Stevie?
Yeah, it's like Teddy Riley featuring Guy. It just doesn't make any sense.
Oh, man. My number 4, as Andrew pointed out before, samples 2 songs. Sybil's Don't Make Me Over from 1989, and obviously the Soul to Soul Back to Life a cappella. This song is produced by The Flow. I'm obviously talking about Karen Wheeler's I Adore You. And there are two incredible remixes by The Flow, which I highly recommend you listen to if you get a chance.
Killer mix. Killer.
The Flow Jazzy mix. And the ultra rare The Flow mix, also remixed by The Flow, Prof D, Lance Alexander, and Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. Incredible. Karen Wheeler's I Adore You, fantastic track. And this has grown in spirit, in my headspace, so much over the years. And this song just gets better and better and better. I am gutted that I can't put this any higher than what I have. It's stunning.
You can.
I can't. You'll see what I put up to in the top 3, and then you'll be like, okay. And I'll explain those as well. But no, fantastic song. Karen Wheeler's stunning. It's so good.
I spent a small fortune on that CD single to get them mixes. Small fortune.
Yeah, I don't have it.
I'll have to dig them. I'll have to dig them mixes out for you then, if to get the quality mixes. Number 4 for me, Namdi. I was out today and I missed the Liverpool Everton big derby. What was the result?
It's same result as the City Arsenal.
So you won. You got beat or won 2-1.
No, well, yeah, they won 2. We won 2-1.
Wow, you got beat. You won or you lost?
No, we beat our Merseyside rivals.
You normally do. But I've got a huge message for all the Arsenal supporters in the chat tonight, because I'm sure there's a lot. 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 for the treble. Here, Man City go. Oh ho ho! Don't step on my blue suede shoes. Anyway, my number 4. And we're spoilt back then. 1 for the money, 2 for the show. Anyway, we were spoilt back then with album versions, which were killer New Jack album versions and remixes. I know we've been talking about the Karen Wheeler remix, the Ralph Tresvant remix, but wow, we got a So Def club mix. So Def mix of this was incredible, absolute banger. But the album mix was just like New Jack Swing on rap steroids. But MC Light, Ice Cream Dream makes my number 4. Thank you very much. On another day, that could be number 1.
Nice.
Yeah,
great.
Yeah, okay.
Great track.
Yeah.
Okay, Andrew.
All right. This song might get me clowned. We'll find out. But at number 4, this song, I was a high school student at this point. So, think about girls, thinking about like the moment on the dance floor where you just like, breaking it down and like, after the dance and like whatever, right? So the song was played all over the radio that summer of 92. And I do think this song was a prelude to a project that Sam and Lewis would do a year later with this group that was totally in my opinion. And I am joking, but not 100% joking and saying, Jam, there's still time to sign me if you like this audition. Now, so here we go. There's nowhere, baby, unless you're there. I could never let you down. By the way, I have wanted to say I will always be around. Yeah, forever love. Ooh, forever love. That's how he sings, right? Baby, ooh, inside my heart. Anyway, so I know it's mad corny and potentially signified, but I think that the Time and Chance album where like, Jam and Lewis do the bells and shoes and, it's like, I think it was Osu songs actually. Maybe they did So It Hurts So Bad. Anyway, that was a good album and no one talks about it. And Forever Love, I think, is an underrated, unmentioned track, but it's all the way at number 4 for me. And while, again, nobody remembers that song, if you go back to summer of 92 in the San Francisco Bay Area, you could not, it was all over KMEL. So That's my number.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know Colour Me Bad were even on this album. That's how much I never listened to it.
Yeah.
I've had the CD since the day it came out, and I can't even remember Colour Me Bad even being on this. But I'll have to listen to it again. But it sounds like a real Nandy Snooze, Brian McKnight fest to me. One of them.
They wouldn't even make the. They wouldn't even be considered that can't wouldn't be considered even for the B side of Brian's debut album. No.
Whoa. Man, Robert, you have no idea how much that means to me. Just thank you, man.
It'd be interesting to see where that Colour Me Bad track falls in the big master list that VJ's got, and I wonder if Namdi will even, because he has got a friend in Colour Me Bad, whether he's included in his top 10. It could be the only inclusion here for I can't see VJ having that in his top 10, but he could surprise me. He could have it at number 1. We shall see.
But I think the interesting thing you said there, Andrew, and I understand why you've included it, is because, and I understand why Jam and Lewis wanted to have a song specifically by Colour Me Bad on this soundtrack, because a year before I Want to Sex You Up had come out, and that was the biggest song by a country mile on New Jack City, right, as far as singles were concerned. So it made sense that they did that, and that was one of the singles that was pressed. It was released as a single as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
But looking at the credits,
never even saw it to buy. Wow.
Yeah, the fact that the song was written by all 4 members of Colour Me Bad and they co-produced it, it feels as if it was they came up with the idea and Jam and Lewis just said, okay, let's add to it and stuff like that. So, okay. Top 3. At number 3, it's My Ice Cream Dream, MC
Nice.
Lights. It goes up there. I thought they did a real, I think, Jam and Lewis on the, this was their, let me see, did they do looking for it? Yeah. So they were pretty capable when it came to doing hip hop production, and they did this really good one for Light. So I was definitely impressed by it, and it's grown on me. It's grown on me a lot more since. So that's my number 3.
High praise. Yeah.
Yes. All right.
So what was your number 3? Sorry.
Ice Cream Dream.
Okay.
MC
Fantastic. I'm so happy to see that you put that as high as you have, man. That is cool, man. Very cool. My number 3, when it came out, I couldn't listen to this song. I listened to it because it was played everywhere. You could not go to a nightclub without hearing it. It was impossible. And I think it's taken me 30 plus years to really understand the magnitude of how important this song is and was at the time. And Jam and Lewis definitely had the vision. It was by far and away the biggest single off this. It could have done with a remix by The Flow or Mint Condition or the Bomb Squad. It samples 2 songs in George McRae's I Get Lifted from 1974 and Ghetto Boys Trophy. It features rap by Bell Biv DeVoe, who Jam Lewis discovered. And if you can see that, this group would not exist if it was not for Jam and Lewis. So
big up Jam and Lewis.
Take a bow, Jam and Lewis, for that alone. But the fact that you've got a song with rap by Bell Biv DeVoe, Ralph Tresvant, you've got lead vocals by Luther Vandross and Janet Jackson. There's no way I couldn't put this song as high as I have.
Nice.
It's top 3. It's my number 3. And it is incredible. And like every time I hear it now, it just makes me happy, man.
Yeah.
It just lifts your mood, man. It's such an incredible song. I'm not talking about the house version. I don't listen to that particular version, but the regular version, incredible. I never got it for 30 plus years. It took me so long to understand it the way I listen to it now. And I can't tell you how much I rejected this song at the time. I can't explain it. I just did. But in 2026, yeah, it's the one, man. It's so good.
Okay.
Nice.
Number 3.
Awesome.
All right, Stevie.
We talked a bit about Jazzy B and Soul to Soul tonight, and there was 3 elements that made their debut album the success it was. Obviously, Jazzy B There was a guy that barely gets mentioned. He plays piano. He's a writer. He's a producer. Simon Law, you might know him as the Funky Ginger, because a ginger-haired guy played the piano. And then the next one was obviously the singer, Karen Wheeler. Karen Wheeler should have been huge. Yeah. You know, I'm looking at British female soul singers back then that had, you know, were just outstanding vocal wise. And we didn't have many. We had Misha Paris. A bit later on, Beverly Knight came along. We had Karen Wheeler. I mean, her voice is just incredible. And the British public just kind of remember her for Back to Life. She did make a couple of albums, which her first one did have a few hits, few minor like club street soul dance hits. The second album was it's a bit like Lauryn Hill almost. It's just like the second one just disappeared into oblivion. But imagine if Jam and Lewis had produced the whole Karen Wheeler album, like we talk about Teddy doing Tammy Lucas. Imagine a whole album. I think the song, what she needed was songs. When she went solo, she didn't really have the song. Living in the Light was a great song. That was a great song. But after that, you can barely remember any songs from her. So this I Adore You, you've got to lap this one up. It's a great song. Jam Lewis, great song, great production. VJ mentioned it earlier. We had a ton of amazing remixes. Again, this could have been number one, because I did hear this a lot in Manchester. It was massive in Manchester in the club scene, this. But I Adore You's at number 3. Could have been number 1, could have been number 2. It's that outstanding for me.
Stunning song. I agree. It's just something very, very special about that. And you make some very good points about an alternate universe where Jam and Lewis had done the whole album. Can you imagine? Oh my God.
Yeah. I want to pile on that. Steve, you gave me an amazing idea. Exactly. And you too, Vij. Alternate universe, Jam and Lewis, Karen Wheeler, and then have Alexander O'Neal on that album. I mean, the fact that you had Alexander O'Neal and Lisa Keith's voices together, and then can you imagine Alexander O'Neal and Karen Wheeler together? Like, that would have been absolute magic. And the fact that we're talking about it means, yeah, in some other universe, it did happen. And we're just feeling the after effects. That would have been magic. So, yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
I wonder, because there was, I heard at the time that they fell out. Jazzy B fell out with her, and apparently she was difficult to work with. I mean, I don't know. It was similar to Jane Eugene with Loose Ends when that falling out happened. Tragic. It's just tragic. You know what I mean? It's like,
and both groups didn't really. Yeah, and neither group, I think, really progressed. I remember Get a Life happened, but like it wasn't the same when they were No,
it wasn't. It was on a slow downhill trajectory for Soul to Soul after that, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was at slight sidebar. I was at a sports car event yesterday, and they're all sports cars, like whatever. But the music was insane, and they played Soul to Soul Joy, and I've never ever heard that out and about in my life anywhere ever, and that was without Karen Wheeler, and I love the song, but Karen Wheeler would have been added another level to that song. And just Karen Wheeler, man. Yeah, I did see her a few years ago with Soul to Soul in London. They did some gigs, and that was incredible, because I think Karen lives out in New York now. She's lived out there for a long time.
Cool. Shout out to Karen.
I have seen them perform recently. 10 years ago, relatively recently.
VJ, can you think of any black female singers in the UK that are as big as those that I mentioned? Have I missed anybody? Misha Paris, Beverly Knight, Karen Wheeler. I'm trying to think. Have I missed any? I mean, obviously you could throw Adele into that mix, but I don't know.
Shola Amma, maybe.
Possibly, yeah.
Maybe
she did.
Karen was the one, man, for me. Like, because we would have been teenagers when all that stuff came out. Right? Yeah. And that's why it just hit differently. Karen Wheeler was it, man. What a voice. Back to Life, when it came out, come on, man. We were just like, who is this person and how incredible does she sound? Yeah. Karen Wheeler, man. Another world.
Amel LaRue. Someone just brought her up.
Yeah,
All
who's
right.
next?
I'm next. Amel LaRue from Groove Theory, but she's US. All right. So my number 3, I'm going to avenge the slander that was made at number 10 earlier. No, but my number 3, from the moment I heard the song, it reminded me of oceans and sky and horizon. It just was a vibe. And there are certain singers who I'll never, ever even try to emulate. And Stokely is one of them. He's just too damn good. And so at number 3 for me, not to like completely to take up too much time, is My Dear. My Dear, I don't think there's been a song like it before it, and there hasn't been a song like it after it. It's ethereal. It reminds me of the Aurora Borealis. It just makes me think of like cosmic beauty. And even though Namdi dissed it, when he did that whole like what is that, right? But like it just so works, and it's just like, and then like in the background of My Dear, like the my it's very like, it's just, it sounds like angels singing to me. It's just, but it's just so understated, low key, arguably boring, but beautiful. So I had to put it at number 3, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. A beautiful song that I'm sure there's Mint Condition fans. Same thing with Johnny Gill. There's probably Mint Condition fans who don't know this song exists because it got buried on the soundtrack. Should have been elevated.
That's a good point. That very good point.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So down to the final 2. At number 2 for me, it was close for distroning what I had down for number 1. You guys have all put this track somewhere in your top 10. I am surprised it wasn't any higher, but I Adore You by Karen Wheeler.
Nice.
It is as high as I could take it at number 2. I think anyone who has been impacted by Soul to Soul, Keep On Moving, and Back to Life, her voice was angelic, and there's something about how she sings. And then I was surprised to find her performance of this song on BET's on one BT stuff, and to see her doing the dance moves and dance with it and dance. I'm like, wow, Carol, because all we saw her in the and Soul to Soul was just sort of just standing and shaking, but in this she was doing the moves and stuff, and she didn't really have a big impact. Now, by this time I was in the States subsequently, but she was well known. But I don't know if the pressure of Soul to Soul was too much. See, this is an amazing track. To have vocals amazing, and yes, at number 2, Carol, I Adore You.
I can't explain how you putting that at number 2 makes me smile. I don't know why. It just doesn't seem like a song you'd put at number 2, man. And the fact that you have is great, man.
He seriously redeemed himself this evening. After putting Condition at number 10.
Great.
Yeah,
great number 2. Man.
He redeemed himself.
Oh, and British artist wise, I just had a thought about somebody else. I think Amy Winehouse should be put into that conversation only because that voice was just something else, man. What she did, the music that she did with Salaam Remi and Mark Ronson, different planet, man. Yeah, along with Karen Wheeler and everybody else we've mentioned. Somebody mentioned Hinda Hicks.
But a lot of suggestions, loads there. Princess, there's loads I forgot about. Jackie Graham, Ruby Turner. There's loads come. Thank you in the chat for all them great suggestions.
Marsha Ambrosius, someone mentioned too. I like her.
Yeah. Forgot about her. Wow.
Was she from the UK?
Yeah.
Yeah. How did I not know the Floetries from the UK? I didn't know that. That's incredible.
They probably don't live too far from you, to be quite honest, VJ. Back then.
No, they could be neighbours. I didn't even know, man. That's mad. All good.
Okay.
You're number 2, VJ.
Is it me?
Yeah.
Okay, there I'm waiting. I'm just still processing that Mark Ambrose used to be a neighbor, man. Bloody hell, that's mad. I can't
Probably
believe
saw her
that.
at the supermarket, man. Didn't even realize it.
This one is a reluctant number 2 for me. This could easily have been number 1, and it was between this and what my actual number 1 ended up being. It is Johnny Gill's "Let's Just Run Away."
Wow.
And,
okay.
this song is just so powerful, man. You've got background vocals by Jam and Lewis, low key, and I know there's a sample by George Duke, but on the credits it's credited as George Duke being a background vocalist on this song, which blows my mind even more. And there's just something very magical about this song. It's produced by The Flow, so Jam and Lewis, Prof T, Alexander, and Lance Alexander. Samples George Duke's Feel from 1974. And there's just something about the way Johnny Gill just carries this song from start to finish. Let's Just Run Away is perfection. There's no mincing about it, no messing about. This is absolutely the one. Killer song, quite comfortably a number 1 on another day. And as I'm talking about it, I feel bad that it's not. It's a stunning song. And I would say it's, and Johnny Gill has so many big songs, easily top 5, maybe top 3 Johnny Gills of all time for me. Top 5 for sure. Top 5 for sure.
Nice.
That's my number 2.
Okay, Stevie.
Well, I had this artist at number 2 in my New Jack City top 10 last time around. I've also got him at number 2 in this soundtrack, and I'm wondering if I can make it a treble like Manchester City, hopefully in a few weeks, with the Boomerang soundtrack.
Nice.
Could it be a treble? Because that artist also had a track on that as well. But and I feel terrible because he's got 3. He could potentially have 3 of the greatest number 2 tracks of all time on 3 soundtracks for me. Yes. But I'm going to go with Johnny Gill. Let's Just Run Away. Again, it could have been number 1. It's that good. It's that good.
So good.
Oh, mesmerizing. That production in the background, that sound. Oh, God. It takes you to another planet, doesn't it? It takes you to another planet. How can it be a 2? How can this be a number 2?
Wow.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. And the crazy thing for me is that this wasn't considered as a single. I mean, off the 14 songs on here, they've pressed 7 singles. They've said 7 are going to be singles, and this wasn't one of them. I don't get it. It's so good.
That is weird. I will say that summer they did play it a few times on the radio on our end as well. So yeah, I remember that. My number 2 is, there's a very nerdy connection to it. And if you've heard the term headcanon, it's like in my headcanon this happened, right? So back in 92, there were not rumors, but there was going to be a new Star Trek series, and they were making a big deal out of this because it's going to have a black captain. So for some reason, I'm like, okay, so maybe they're going to like upgrade Star Trek and make it kind of cool, like with different music and stuff. And there was a song on this soundtrack that sounded futuristic and it reminded me of space. So as a matter of fact, the words Deep Space Nine and The New Style are absolutely in the same universe for me. So when I hear The New Style, I think of outer space, I think of spaceships, I think of zooming, I think of just hyperspace, like just sci-fi imagery. And it's very techno, and I think it's Jimmy Jam going in the song and everything. It's all really weird and just like, come on, doom, boom, 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 boom. Or it could be like a dogfight song, but that whole no controls my mind. No, it's just like you're like the spaceship is launching or the dock is opening, and it's just like boom, and like there's planets, and yeah, I nerded out. Now the secret is out. But The New Style is my number 2, and I just think it's the most different track a Jam and Lewis ever made, and it makes me happy. It gives me life. I never, ever, ever, ever skip it. And there's actually a mashup of the new style with Control by Janet Jackson that's out there that I forget his name right now, but he did that. So yeah, that's my unique high praise for.
Wow. Number 2.
Mhm.
Wow.
Okay.
But
Well-
I love that you've said that you never skip it. So that means you are committed to that song, man.
Committed, man.
This is a forever song for Andrew.
I'm married
man.
to it. It's my fiance now.
Okay, guys. So now we're going through our top. We're going through 14 down to number 1. At number 14 is Brother Will, the Harlem Yacht Club. Had Jelly Bean and co-producing, but it was just like, yeah. No. Number 13, Forever Love, Color Me Bad. I was like, yeah, blow out the candles. That was just too slow. It felt like a poor remake of She's Out of My Life. 12 is Let's Get It Together, Crush. I just thought that was a little corny. 11 is the new style, Jammer Lewis. Yeah, that's 10, Mint Condition, My Dear. Number 9, More Money Groove. Number 8 is The Best Things in Life for Free. 7, Let's Just Run Away. Number 6 is Joy. 5 is A Job Ain't Nothing But Work. 4 is Get Off My Back. Play. 3 is Ice Cream Dream. 2 is I Adore You by Karen Weaver. And number 1 is by the hardest working man in show business. The best song on the album. The guy who carried the album on his back. And it's the incomparable Ralph T.
Yes.
Money
Wow.
Can't Buy You Love.
Wow. Wow. He's certainly redeemed himself.
Did not expect that. Loved it.
He's the passion he has. You can see that he just loved to work. I mean, yeah, Ralph, you just got to give it to him. Works hard. And one of the things I remember watching in the New Edition biopic was the fact that he could have left the other 3 just hanging dry, but he waited for Johnny. If they didn't do Heartbreak, I don't think there's any recovery for them, because that those albums they did when there was just the 4 of them were unforgettable or just forgettable, and Heartbreak was their redeeming album. But he waited for them. He waited. He was there for them. He could, if he had left before that. And so you always have to give it up for Ralph T.
That's what's up.
Yes. All right, VJ.
Number 14, the Harlem Yacht Club, Brother Will. You guys don't know this, but Namdi messaged me before the show and said, I'm not going to put this in my list, but my favorite song is actually the Harlem Yacht Club, Brother Will. Maybe he didn't say that. It might be unlikely that he said that, but that's definitely my number 14. Number 13 is Color Me Bad, Forever Love. Number 13 is Crush, Let's Get Together, So Groovy Now. Number 11 is Public Enemy, Get Off My Back. Number 10, Sounds of Blackness, Joy. Number 9, Jam and Lewis, The New Style. Number 8, Mo Money All Stars, Mo Money Groove. Number 7, Big Daddy Kane, A Job Ain't Nothing But Work. Number 6, MC Light, Ice Cream Dream. Number 5, Ralph Tresvant, Money Can't Buy You Love. Number 4, Karen Wheeler, I Adore You. Number 3, Luther Vandross and Janet Jackson, The Best Things in Life Are Free. Number 2, Johnny Gill's Let's Just Run Away, which means my number 1 can only be a song that is one of the few songs that are produced by Mint Condition and Jam and Lewis. It samples 2 songs, Curtis King, Feel Good, Waterfront Dining, Birds of Paradise 2016. There wasn't a single for this, but Mint Condition's My Dear is everything to me.
Wow.
I hear this song and it just permeates through me, man. This is the one. This is my favorite song on this album. this and Johnny Gill, Let's Just Run Away, I would say my two favorites. But this is the one I hear, and I can never skip this. Like Andrew said about the new style, I have to listen to this, and it just, I cannot believe how incredible Stokely sounds on this song. And the sparseness of the production on this sits perfectly with those vocals.
Mm-hmm.
Flawless song.
Yeah.
This isn't like a, what is it out of 10? This is a 10. This song is perfect. You cannot improve this song. That's how I feel about it. Mint Condition, my dear, my number one. The end.
Wow. Goodness. Opposite ends
you,
of the scale.
You put it at number 10. I'm like,
it just scripted.
Something ain't right, man. Something ain't right, man.
Goodness, Stevie.
You give me an interesting idea there, an interesting thought, because I hate to plug what I'm doing on my channel, but a guy who I interviewed today, one of the members in the shop is on the committee, the RSD Day, the Record Store Day committee, and they've got a say in what gets released on Record Store Day. Mint Condition's first LP, which is a ridiculous amount of money now, it's about £200. It's so hard to get. That would be a great record store reissue next year. That's, I'm going to put that down as a suggestion, actually. The Mint Condition album, because it needs rediscovering, that album. I think a younger generation with the Prince, the Minneapolis, Jesse Johnson, I think they'd love it. It's so funky, that album. But they were great with the ballads as well. They were just great, Mint Condition. Anyway, I didn't do a 13, 12, and 11, but I will mention. I put Public Enemy at number 12. I'll be honest, I didn't like the record. It was like a slow-mo, P-funky. Just couldn't get my head around it. Anyway, that was that. I'd have put that number 12. Number 11, I would have put Mo Money Groove. Again, a fast-paced, funky New Jack track. I did like that. But number 10, Crush, Let's Get Together. Hold on, it was Crush Groove, wasn't it? Crush Groove. No. Was it a different name in the UK? I can't remember. There was some licensing thing, and they had to change the name or something in the UK.
I think that sounds familiar for some reason. I can't.
Yeah. Anyway, that was at number 10. Number 9 was Big Daddy Kane. A Job Ain't Nothing But Work. Number 8, Sounds of Blackness, Joy. Number 7, Jam and Lewis, The New Style. Number 6. What do you have number 6? Mint Condition, My Day. I feel terrible putting that at number 6 because it is a killer track. Number 5, Luther, Janet, BBD, The Best Things in Life Are Free. Number 4, MC Light, Ice Cream Dream. Number 3, Karen Wheeler, I Adore You. Number 2, Johnny Gill, Let's Just Run Away. Oh gosh, and number 2, and number 1. This guy did some brilliant New Jack Swing tracks with Kyle West on his debut album, and I thought it can't get any better than that. New Jack Swing wise, it can. But you know what? It can, because it got even better with Money Can't Buy You Love. So for number 1 for me, Ralph. I mean, I played this to death. I wore my CD. I do need to get this on vinyl. I wore my CD out playing this track, and then I ended up years and years later paying another ridiculous bag of money for the Diggy Diamonds promo CD single, because it was never on vinyl, that mix.
Wow.
I had a big bag of money for that CD single.
Wow. That's well, to get that now is $200.
I can imagine it is.
Yeah, comfortably.
Okay, Andrew.
All right. So my number 14, we may be unanimous here. First of all, somebody asked if the soundtrack was better than the movie. I would say absolutely. And a lot of the songs fit scenes in the movie. So at number 14, A Brother Will, I don't think I've ever, anyways, I'm not a fan of that one, but it was in the movie, I think during a chase scene. So anyway, Brother Will, number 14. Number 13, Get Off My Back, Public Enemy. Number 12, wow. Joy. Not an insult to Joy. I actually listen to Joy. It's cool. Number 11, Job Ain't Nothing to Work. Again, fits the movie, but that's number 11. Number 10, Let's Get Together, Crush. Number 9, Ice Cream Dream. MC Light. Number 8, Let's Just Run Away, Johnny Gill, I Adore You. Number 7, Karen Wheeler. Number 6, Best Things in Life Are Free. Number 5, you guys know who it is. Number 5, Mo Money All Stars. Number 4, Forever Love. Number 3, My Dear, Mint Condition. Number 2, The New Style by Jam and Lewis themselves. And at number 1, there is so much I could say about this track. It obviously is not a surprise, but I will say in the summer of 93, actually, or maybe it was number 92, there was a remix I heard. I only heard it once, but I got it on tape, and it kind of goes where it goes like, money, money can't buy you love. Money, money can't buy you love. And it's a very different mix. And someone who may or may not be Stevie finally understood what I was talking about, because I would search YouTube forever. I can only hear the JD So Def remix, but I may or may not have finally got a copy of it, but it was incredible. And I have to say that it was, for me, like kind of the grand finale, in my opinion, of Ralph Tresvant as like the hottest ish as far as being in pop music. Yes, in R&B music. Yes, you still had like When I Need Somebody and everything else, but that song was all over the radio where I lived. It was the sound of New Edition. The background vocals were plush, and I just love that song. So even though it's a little high for my voice, I just have to, for the record, just attempt this and say, money can't buy you love, can't buy you diamond rings. Your love can bring. Money can't buy you love, can't buy you diamond rings, but money can't buy you love. I messed up the vocals or the lyrics, but I love that song. Can we do it again at the end? Because that was literally at the end. That is the whole hardworking. He will work in the studio forever. So I am proud to finally emulate that song, because it means so much to me. And thank you, thank you again to who may or may not be Stevie, for blessing me after literally, I think, gosh, it had to be like 15 years or more of me wondering, did this mix really exist? And he was like, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You just reminded me. The story behind that is I can tell you now, because it's years on. But the NGS3 days, I think it was DJ Puppet in Australia. Sent me a message, because have you heard this Ralph Tresvant remix? I went, no, and he sent it to me. And he just said, don't let anybody, don't give it to anybody. It was like, it was shrouded in mystery. And I'm like, where's he got this from? And then it turns out I think it was like one of those DJ Mix It series. I think you can get it now on Discogs on vinyl, but it's like a DJ mix.
It's beautiful.
On an unofficial bootleg vinyl. Yeah, it caught me by surprise, because I'd never saw that mix back then. You know, we heard it 25 years later.
Yeah,
during the NGS3 forum days. You know,
I still don't think it's on YouTube. It's a very rare mix.
No, it's a rare, rare piece. And
no one's heard it.
This little circle of collectors will have it tucked away somewhere, I think.
Yeah.
Well,
definitely.
it seems like the three guys in blue have all had the same single. The odd one out in his black top.
Ironically wearing the New Edition one. So I don't know if it's really New Edition bias here, just saying, but all right.
Yeah. What's the mass list? Because we could see what's what the majority put at number 1.
So the overall list from all the lists that were submitted, the master list, main list. Number 14, the Harlem Yacht Club, Brother Will. Yeah. Number 13, Public Enemy, Get Off My Back. Number 12, Color Me Bad, Forever Love. Number 11, Mo Money All Stars, Mo Money Groove. Number 10, Let's Get Together, So Groovy Now. Number 9, Big Daddy Kane, A Job Ain't Nothing But Work. Number 8, Sounds of Blackness, Joy. Number 7, Ice Cream Dream. Number 6, yeah, that's a big wow. Number 6, Johnny Gill, Let's Just Run Away.
What?
Even more wow. Number 5, Karen Wheeler, I Adore You.
Wow.
Number 4, Jam and Lewis, The New Style.
Nice.
No.
People liked it. People liked that.
Nice.
Number 3, Luther Vandross and Janet Jackson's Best Things in Life Are Free.
I can understand that. I can get with that.
Number 2, Mint Condition, My Dear.
Wow.
Which means categorically you three know what you're talking about and you're in touch with the people. And number 1 is Ralph Tresvant's Money Can't Buy You Love. You three are the winners of the podcast. Hurrah!
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, I knew when Andrew chose it as well. I thought I've won the podcast again with these two. I've won it again. He's brought it home to me again.
Okay, guys. Well, so yes, everyone who's joined us in.
One more rating, Andy. What we're gonna do out of 10? What do you give the album out of 10 overall?
Yes. Yes, 5.
What?
Yeah, 5.
Oh, mate, you're gonna get blasted with people in the comments, mate. You can't. Are you sure you want to go with that decision? They'll put you on blast, mate.
Yeah.
You'll get roasted.
10-game ban at least, man. 10-game ban at least.
So yeah, best, 5. Yeah. So what about you, VJ? What did you give it?
I give it a 7,
Wow.
7.5. I think it's a very solid album. I think there were some bits which I think they could have done without, like the Harlem Yacht Club. There were songs that didn't quite fit with it, and for that reason, I give it a 7.5. 7.5, I think is fair, but the 7.5 bit, solid tracks.
Okay.
Oh, mate, is that vinyl? Is that vinyl single vinyl, or is it double? I've not got it on vinyl.
Double vinyl.
Oh, I need to get that. I do need to get it on vinyl.
Okay, people are giving it 6. And what about you, Stevie?
I'm umming and ahhing here because I really want to rate it highly, but there's 3 or 4 tracks that I'm not really. I mean, 7.5. I'm gonna give it. It is a 7. Yeah, it's definitely not a 5. It's not a 6. It's higher than that. It's high. I'll give it a generous 8. I'll give it a generous 8 out of 10.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah, I'll keep it real. I'm gonna stay. I was feeling pressure to lower my ish, but now I'm just stay where you were. I'm giving it an 8.5. I was a fan, and yeah, I'll leave it at that. 8.5. I think
I gave Brian McKnight's album a 9.5.
Oh, stop it!
It came out. They came out the same year. I gave that album a 9.5, probably as close to a 10 as I could.
Did it come with a free sleeping bag?
Hey, it is probably one of the best debut albums by a male vocalist.
Stop it, mate! Stop it!
Yeah. So the fact that they came out the same year, album came out the same year as Boomerang, as well as Mary's What's the 411. So yeah, I just said it was just not my favorite era of Jam and Lewis, and because they are masters, and I think just they were experimenting with stuff, and it did, with the drums and stuff. But there we go.
We're gonna have to complete the triple soundtrack with Boomerang next, aren't we?
That's gonna be fun.
We're gonna have to do that.
I want to say really quick with Boomerang, the songs that it's easy to forget that are on there, like Shanice Don't Want to Love You, like that's the one you can forget that it was even on there, and it's actually a pretty good song. And then Hot Sex with A Tribe Called Quest. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff on there that is like, yeah, I think that's gonna be a fun one. And yeah, for those people who are fans of Boomerang, don't worry, we got you. We're gonna give it its flowers too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just a quick one. Shout out to Brandon and Bashir. I agree with you about Low Key. Great band. Those 2 albums are so good, man. So good. Anyway.
Okay. So anyway, guys, it's been great, and definitely Jam and Lewis, if you're in the Las Vegas area, you still have an opportunity to catch them live as they bring out their special guests, as I mentioned, Shanice, Ruben Stutter. Then they've got Nesby, Shantae Moore showing up, and it wouldn't surprise me if they get other great artists to show up. Hopefully, after this stuff, we may try and reach out to Jimmy to see if he wants to give us feedback on the show. But till then, we will leave everyone. It is 10 minutes to midnight here in the UK, and it's been a great show. And we will catch you guys in due time. The Michael movie's coming out this week. Go watch it, support it, so that it can give us the opportunity to watch part 2, which is supposed to be the bad and maybe it's the dangerous era and onwards. So that would be interesting to see who they get to play Teddy in that. But anyway, we thank everyone, and we'll catch you in due time. Take care, guys.
See ya.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of Halftime Chat. Please remember to subscribe, share, and comment. But most importantly, why don't you become a member of Halftime Chat? We've got amazing videos, amazing perks, and being able to support the channel. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care.
I never participated in that category.
And somewhere in between
us for even loving us, on which I did miss you.
What was it like growing up?
she's still making an impact on 4 houses down.
I have a couple pieces.
Trying to get this one and that one.
That works for you, but just for me,
No, okay.
They don't understand what Boyz II Men and all spirits.
Play it.